Welcome, 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 welcome. It's the very first edition of the Purpose and You Talk Show with Mr. Purpose International, the very first edition for April. I'm very delighted about tonight's topic, Purpose and Education. The song on the background is the song of Minister Dunsi Oyekon, Just One Passion, Just One Purpose, which is to know you more and more. So as I await more people to join tonight, just enjoy that this particular song while we wait for more people to join. Please tell your friends, tell your family members, your colleagues that Mr. Purpose is live. You can please share the link to this live video right now on your social media status, your WhatsApp, your Facebook, your Instagram. Tonight is power packed. Tonight is loaded. Tonight will be another night of great insights and inspiration. Eniola, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. As you join tonight, please leave your location where you are joining from. Last week was awesome. Interestingly, last week was last month. The month of March. How was the month of March for you? How was the first 3 months actually of 2026? A quarter is gone. If you are still in the valley of indecision about initiating actions that align to God's purpose for your life, this month of April, you have to make the moves that matter. Because when you make the moves that matter based on your life's purpose, then you will become someone that really matters. When you make a move towards destiny, you might even face some quality opposition, because the devil, the enemy, the forces of nature really are always against God's purpose. If you check, the rain falls down. For anything to go up and stay up, it's a counter force that makes things go up and stay up, right? So you can't make progress without being intentional, right? No life outside you. Naya Ize, thank you again for joining tonight from Russia. Thank you for joining. Please share this with your friends on your IG links. So send the links to your friends on every platform possible. I'm going to kick off in a few minutes. I just want you to get soaked in by this song, No Life Outside You. No one besides you. I teach purely from a faith standpoint. I am a Christian. I am a preacher of the gospel of Jesus Christ. I'm a certified life purpose coach. So the principles that I share are Bible-based principles because they work. All right, but they are applicable to anyone in any field of endeavor, in any field of life. If you apply these principles, it will produce great results, because God is the God of all flesh. All right, and there's just one sun that shines on all human beings. So the principles are universal principles. They are applicable to everyone in any nation of the world. So while we await more people to join, I was just waiting for.
I am the Bible, but most Christians read me wrong.
Just waiting for the. Okay, I think it's time. All right. So tonight I'm teaching on purpose education, learning the basics of purpose. Purpose education, learning the basics of purpose. Purpose education, learning the basics of purpose. if you cast your mind back to when you were in nursery school, you were introduced to the basics of English, and we all started with learning the alphabets: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way to Z. And then after that, we were introduced to the consonant sounds and then the vowels, and they used rote learning method to teach us. My children are in nursery and early primary levels of education, and it ministered to me when I see how fascinated they are when they learn something new, and it looks like a big revelation to them, and I just smile when my son or my daughter comes to me that, "Daddy, do you know that 2 plus 10 is 12?" And I'll be like, "Oh, wow, really?" And I appreciate, I act like as a cheerleader, as a father should, to encourage their curiosity for learning. So no one can fulfill God's purpose for their lives without having that disposition of a learner, of a curious learner, a childlike learner. Once you come into the school of purpose or into this subject of purpose, you come like somebody that already knows. You come with like a professor. I can guarantee you that you won't go very far. You would only touch maybe the surface, or may not even touch or scratch the surface of God's purpose for your life at all. I'm talking about God, the spirit that created the universe, the intelligence that we all draw from. You must realize that God is not intelligent. God is the intelligence that we all draw our intelligence from, right? God is not wise. God is the wisdom bank that we all bank on, and we make withdrawals from time to time. All right. So when a human being now uses the brain that God made to make decisions that are counterproductive, or they are making decisions based on assumptions about their destiny, I cringe out of fear. It could either be some of the factors I shared last week, when I thought about FAQs about purpose, that some people, there are 4 kinds of people. There are people who are ignorant about God's purpose for their lives, so they have never heard, they've never learned, they've never ever been told by anyone that there is a purpose for their birth. So they just exist. They are reduced to almost to live by instinct, and that's the level of life that animals live by. The animals live by instincts. That's why they call them beasts of burden. They are burdened by purely these 3 major issues. Okay, I wanted to say clothing, shelter. They are burdened by food and possibly shelter. The clothing that they have, I've never seen any animal go to a boutique to shop for clothes. I've never seen any lion jump out of the jungle and says, "Hey, I'm going to TM Luwin to shop for a shirt." No, the forecoat of the lion is what it wears forever. Whatever God has made as a clothing for them is what they will be in throughout their lifetime. So they are not able to make conscious decisions to change their current reality. And that's why you and I are different from animals. But when a human being exists in that realm of ignorance, you are almost not really different from those lower creatures. So animals operate only by instinct. When you are not conscious that there is more to your life than going to school, getting a good degree, even if you come out with a PhD and a first-class degree holder in any field of learning, if that knowledge you just gathered is not in alignment to God's purpose for your life, you are still an illiterate in the school of destiny. All right? I'm so sorry to say it. I'm saying it with all sense of honesty but modesty, because God himself said in the Bible, I will refer to the Bible as I go on, that my ways are not your ways, my thoughts are not your thoughts. So I'm now used to this particular occurrence when people go through the Purpose Discovery Academy or they have an encounter with me, one-on-one coaching. One of the proofs that they have really been impacted is that they usually realign. They change their decision. They change their career path. They make life-changing decisions. Some of them, it takes them a while. There's a particular young man, it took him about 1 year to make the decision to switch from science to art. But thank God he was a teenager at that time. He was about 17 when he came and attended the Purpose School way back when we still called it the Purpose School. Well, it took him 1 year to make that U-turn. And he had a gift of time, a bit on his side. 1 year, if you are 40 and you are still delaying an instant decision you should make, then you are not really acting in wisdom. Because when you are 40, you are supposed to be in the afternoon season of your life. Talking about the 3 seasons of purpose. I talked about that last week. You can go check out that video. It's saved on my IG platform. So today we want to talk about purpose education. There are 4 thoughts I would establish, then I'll go into the 7 types of education that exist when we're talking about purpose. Number 1, you must realize that purpose flows from the principle, but grows by applying the principles of the principle. Yes, purpose flows from the principle of life, and that's God Almighty. It flows out of Him. The thought, there was a predominant thought in the mind of God, the principle of life, before you were born. That thought is what we are referring to as the purpose of your life. That's why he already said it in Isaiah 55. Said, my thoughts are not your thoughts. So if you are going to find God's thought for your life, you must throw away all the thoughts you have been working with prior to the time that you now heard a teaching like this, or you went through a proper coaching under an anointed, heaven certified life purpose coach. By God's grace, this is not what I wanted to do with my own life many years ago. I wanted to be a footballer, and I was very good at it. So in fact, I went to school because my dad just wanted. I didn't want to go to school. I wanted to just go from secondary school and start pursuing my ambition as a professional footballer. So discovering this became a burden for me, for God. It's a revelation that I responded to. It altered my own decision. So I'm not a life purpose coach because I'm trying to be popular. No, it's a calling. It's a response to God's revelation to me, showing me that my own purpose on earth is to show many others, possibly billions, how to find it. It took me 13 years. If you stay connected to everything we teach at the Purpose Discovery Academy, under 6 months, you should be walking exactly in the perfect will of God for your life. We currently have on promo a life transforming course, the first of its kind, how to find your purpose in 30 days. It's currently on sale, pre-order sales, 50% discount. By 1st of May, it will be live on Main Stack. If Unaya or Eniola, can you help me put up that link and just pin it? So now, the first point, you must walk with this mindset. Purpose flows from the principle of life, that's God, but grows by applying the principles. Number 2, if you are a Christian, if you are a believer, you have the heart of the principle, but you must still learn the art of your purpose. If you are a Christian, if you are a believer, you have the heart, you have the spirit, you have the nature. All right, you have the nature of God, but you must still learn the art of your purpose. That means you must still learn the culture. Everyone's purpose is unique, right? Everyone's purpose is unique. You must learn the art of your own heart. You must learn the art of your own heart. You must, I'm saying heart, Heart. and art. You must learn the art, A-R-T, of the heart God put inside of you. So there's a part of God that is inside of you that is not in any other human being. That's why not finding and fulfilling purpose is robbing the entire world of a piece of the greatness in God that He put in you. And that's why we are now going all out to tell our generation, don't go after the trends. Don't follow the role models into a rat hole. Don't follow social media influencers until you lose your own essence and relevance. You have to first find it. You have to find the exact thought that was in God's heart before your conception. All right? So you must find that which was in God's heart that necessitated your birth. All right? So you are actually a piece of art. You must also realize that God handcrafted you. God created you. He designed you the way the shape of your nose, shape of your ears, shape of your lips, the color of your eyes, the texture of your skin, your fingerprints, everything points to the fact that you are unique and you are the only you that ever exists right now, right? You are the only you that exists, and you must realize that no one else can fulfill your purpose for you. All right, so you must be diligent in the pursuit. So you have the nature of God if you are a Christian, but you must still learn the culture of your own purpose. A thought almost flew out of my mind. Now, if, for example, if life, thank you, you are a gift of life. Yes, if life was like the Olympic Games, and each one's purpose is like one of the sports or games at the Olympic Games. So, for example, if your own purpose points to boxing, and your friend's purpose points to, let's say, judo, the daily activities of a boxer are uniquely different from someone whose life's purpose is judo. The daily activities of an athlete will be different from someone who is designed to be a swimmer. The daily activities of a professional footballer, must be different from the daily activities of someone who is a basketballer. The footballer must learn the principles of using their legs. They must build the skill and help them use their legs, while a basketballer must learn the principles that help them use their hands. All right? So you can't imitate another human being's purpose. You can admire it, you can learn from their zeal and commitment, but you cannot. I taught this last week. Go and check the video. The reason why some people have not stepped out of the valley of indecision is because they are imitating other great people. They are imitating other great people. They want to dress like them. They want to talk like them. They want to sound like them. You should be inspired by greatness, the greatness of other people, not to be retired by their greatness, not to be overwhelmed by their greatness, not to become a fanatic of their greatness that you don't live your own life, right? Imitation leads to limitation. Thank you, Eniola, for posting that's the link to get the how to find your purpose in 30 days course. Is currently running at a promo of 50% discount. Just click this link and it takes you straight to main stack, and then you just patiently wait for 1st of May. All right. The third point is you must remain a lifelong learner in the school of purpose. You must remain a lifelong learner in the school of purpose. There are many graduates in my country, Nigeria, who are illiterate. This is what I mean. They have graduated from school, but they are illiterate when it comes to understanding their life's purpose. It's as if the language they are speaking, their destiny does not understand it. They have not hacked the They've not found a hack, the life's hack, to find out their life's work. So wherever they even get employment, they discover a disconnect that they are all usually underemployed. All right. So there's a condition in HR called underemployment or redundancy. You are on a job, but everything about you is not fit for that job. Your innate skills. So you are going to work, but you feel like you are trapped. You feel like you are a slave. And I always say this to people, that slavery is more attractive than freedom. Please let me type that down. Slavery is more attractive than freedom. The Israelites were slaves for 430 years. When God asked Moses to go lead them out, when they got in between the promised land, when they were in the wilderness, which was now, they were no longer in Egypt, they were not yet in their promised land, they wanted to go back to the known. They wanted to go back to the safety of being slaves. They wanted to go back to the security of the life of slavery. Purpose is the only thing that will set your heart on fire and set you free. There's nothing like job security. All right? You can be on a job and you are not safe. You are not secure because it has sucked out the real content of your life, the real vital force that makes you, yes, thank you, slavery is more attractive than freedom. So please just check the spelling. Slavery is more attractive than freedom. The Israelites wanted to go back to Egypt. They were used to the predictability of what was going on in Egypt. As a slave, is your master that sets your job description. As a slave, the food they eat, they give them just enough food to have enough energy to carry bricks. Now, is it wrong to be an employed staff of an organization? No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it is wrong for you to be on any job just because of the money perpetually, because you are afraid to come out and really be the person you were meant to be. No, so some people's purpose points directly to a career path. They are supposed to serve and help other people who are like entrepreneurs or pioneers. But what I'm saying essentially is you must remain a lifelong learner in the school of purpose. Nobody graduates from being a student of wisdom. The day you stop learning, you start dying. The day you stop learning, you start dying. So I see that paradox, or I call it the folly of being a fresh graduate amongst fresh graduates in Nigeria. Once a young person that has not been properly orientated about life graduates, drops their pen, they drop their pen, they wrote their final exams, like they say, that's not your final exam. Your last paper in university is not your final exam. That is just the beginning of the preparatory courses to life's real test. Because the major difference between the regular school and the school of purpose, which is life, is that in the regular school, you have a teacher or a lecturer come to class, give you lectures first, give you the lessons before they test your knowledge, before they test your wisdom. But the major difference, but in the school of purpose, which is life will give you the test to check where, and then you now understand the lesson. Life will test you to check whether you have been learning, on your own, whether you have a daily habit of learning. And purpose, when it is discovered, it forces you to become and remain a student. You will study your Bible daily. You will now begin to chase wisdom, knowledge from mentors, from books. You become a researcher. Proverbs 25 verse 2, I believe it's verse 2. It says, it is the glory of God to conceal a matter, but it is the honor of kings to search it out. It is the glory of God to conceal a matter. So your purpose is initially hidden. It is hidden for you, not from you. It is hidden for you to search it out, to discover it. You don't find water if you are digging for well at the surface. You dig deep into the earth. You dig a hole down. You go down. You search. And when you now find the treasure within you, it will be in the raw form. It will be in its raw state. You now need to start a new journey of learning how to convert that raw treasure to become skill. And I said that last week. I've said that in many of my teachings. You need 10,000 hours of practice to go from raw latent talent to skill. And when you are at the level of skill, you are the first stage of self-mastery. That's the first stage. There are 5 other stages. If you want to know what the 5 stages are, please sign up for How to Find Purpose in 30 Days course. It's currently running on a promo on main stack. It will go live on the 1st of May, but it's running on a 50% discount promo. When we open it for public viewing on the 1st of May, the next 30 days again, it will go up by another 25%. That's the price. Then by the 1st of July, it will go to its original price, which is 45,000 naira, or that's about $45, or wherever you are in the world. Just convert your currency. Then the 4th point here is you start off as a student to gain mastery. You start off as a student in the path of your purpose. You gain mastery by teaching others or sharing with others, but you remain a master in your craft by remaining a student of the master of life. I'll say that again. You start off as a student in the school of purpose. You gain mastery by teaching or sharing with others, but you remain a master in your craft by remaining a student under the master. So you can never disconnect your life's mission, your life's purpose from God, no matter what stage you are at. So even if you are in your afternoon season and you are thriving, you are now maybe a celebrity in a locality or in your nation, in your country, you have not conquered the entire earth. You've not conquered your continent. So you must remain a student. So God must be at the center of your heart. Once you remove God from your journey of self-discovery and self-mastery, you are going to self-destruct. So God must be the center of whatever it is that you are pursuing, because there's still life after life. Purpose prepares you also for eternity. This life is a rehearsal for the main part of our existence, and we are here to process our visas to the life that we are going to spend more time in. Now, if you are also here just watching this video and fear is the reason why fear is the reason why you have decided not to pursue your true greatness because you are afraid to die, let me say it to you very nicely: you are still going to die, right? So it's better you die on the path of your true pursuit of greatness. All right, it is better to fail at something big than to succeed at nothing at all. It's better to fail at something big. Some of you are afraid of failure, that the fear of failure keeps you in that mode of being like in a neutral gear mode, right? The fear of failure, the fear of the unknown, the fear of death. Oh, I may not earn enough money to take care of my needs. Guess what? Your purpose has inbuilt prosperity. I'm not going to teach on that today, but it's also in the course How to Find Your Purpose in 30 Days and then turn it to a business. So I did a very practical teaching on how to transform that discovery and you deploy it into a money-making business. But that business will be a brand, because when you discover God's purpose, it comes also with an anointing, which is an enablement that makes you different, and it sustains you even in hard seasons. Now, let's talk about the 7 types of education. I don't think this has been taught anywhere before, because this is a unique revelation that God himself taught me. Number 1, the 7 types of education in the subject of purpose discovery and purpose fulfillment. Number 1, education by information. We're talking about the basics, learning the basics of purpose. So we have, at that first stage, is education by information. You are like a toddler at the early stages of learning. early stages of academic education, learning the ABCs of purpose. So you get basic information, or like watching this video now, if you are hearing this for the first time, you are at this level, education by information. You get to hear. For me, the first time ever I heard that there was a purpose for my life was 26 years ago. I got that information from my mentor, my first mentor, Dr. Miles Monroe. I was just recuperating from the fracture accident I had, which was because of my ignorance of the reality of the subject I'm talking about. Because when God wants you to find his purpose, one of the things that he does for you is that he brings a simple information like this video you're watching now. He brings it your way. Education by information. And then the second thing that he will do to you is that he will open your ears. Why is that so? He will open your spiritual ears. Why is that so? God's voice is the shortest distance between where you are and where you desire to be. God's voice is the shortest distance between 2 points. All right? So you were created by God. You must understand that you need a vital connection and a vital relationship with the author of life for you to be a master in life. You must be tutored by the master for you to gain mastery in life. So education by information. You get it through books, you get it by attending seminars, you just hear. So information, like they say, is the mother of transformation. So that information can get you to turn. Like Moses, God had to inform him after 40 years of trying to get his attention using the burning bush experience. Thank you for typing that. God's voice is the shortest distance between where you are and where you want to be. Right. So education by information. God will now educate your mind. So you are like a toddler at the nursery level of education. You are learning the ABCs of purpose. And now you now begin to learn, and so you are coming to a place of awareness that there is actually more to my life than what my parents may have taught me. My own parents, my own dad of blessed memory, he just wanted us to be okay with being able to afford a good shelter. Just thinking about it is laughable. Go to school, get any job, be able to afford just 3 square meals, and marry just anyone available and keep paying bills all your life, just being stuck in the rat race. But you see, purpose is the path that leads to the smart race. The smart race. You will start off on a path that is not attractive to many, but it is a protective path. It will protect you from distraction, destruction, and also protect you from the slippery path that leads to final damnation, which is going to hell, right? So purpose will keep you on the path. Yeah, purpose is the path that leads to the smart race. Because if you win in the rat race, you are still a big rat at the end of the day. The second type of education is education by internship. They are all letter I's. Letter I. Education by information is the first. When you get enough information, then you become hungry to know more. And that would force you to go into the second phase of your education in purpose, which is education by internship. Education by internship. At this stage, you are under a master. You are under a human tutor. You are under a mentor. You are under an organization. At this level, you might even be an employee of an organization, but you are there with the mindset of learning for your own life's work. You are an intern. You are an intern with the intent to learn enough knowledge, get wisdom, get information, understand what is called the trade secrets. I'm a Nigerian, and I love what the people from the East, what they do. They just have a culture. Shout out to all my Igbo brothers. and Igbo people, they have a culture that aligns with this principle of apprenticeship. When there's a successful Igbo trader in Lagos, he will send, and they always call everybody from their part of the world, part of town, or their background. They always call them my brother. They call them, they bring them. At times, their parents, once those boys if their parents cannot afford formal education, academic education in a classroom, they send them. They ask the guy, "What do you want to become?" Say, "I want to become a mechanic." They will send him to Lagos to go and intern under a master, somebody who has been in the arts and the craft of being a successful mechanic for maybe 25 years. Say, go and be his boy. All right. So you must understand that this is a critical path. You can't jump this stage. Education by internship. If God wants to now bless you, if you have attended a purpose discovery academy program before, maybe in your before you get a job, if you find your purpose before you get a job, most likely you will get a job where you are being paid a salary for being an intern. So your salary, you are in school, but you are earning. So that's one of the benefits of finding purpose early. So you now get a job in an industry, in a role that is preparing you for your real life's work, right? For your life's work. Okay, you are like a Joshua serving Moses. You are like a Ruth understudying Naomi. You are like an Elisha following Elijah. You are like a Timothy understudying Paul. You are like a Mary that was asked to go intern with Elizabeth. This is a principle that many Christians, they overlook this because they say God talks to me too. The Spirit of God is in me too. This is a principle that the Spirit of God you claim to be in you has laid down. Even Jesus Christ had to go through this path. So if you are going to become a master, you must first submit to be an intern. That's where your own lamp will be lit. You submit for internship. Education by internship. The third phase is now education by instruction. This is still a phase where you are in internship, but you are no longer at the early stages of being an intern. All right, sorry for that. Education by instruction. Education by instruction. When you enter as an intern, you must remain humble, you must remain meek, and you must remain mild. Remember, I talked about the three things you will need to fulfill your purpose. One of them is meekness. Meekness. Meekness is a readiness to receive instruction, even if the instructions seem odd to you. Because I said at the beginning of this video that one of the reasons why many educated people don't go far in God's purpose is they come with the mindset of, I already know it. They come with the professor's mindset. And the ways of God are not our ways. God even said in Isaiah 55, go and study that. I said, my ways are not your ways. My thoughts are not your thoughts. So you must be able to receive instructions. Instructions are highway codes to becoming a high flyer. I'll say it again. Instructions are highway codes to becoming a high flyer. Is the pathway to being a high flyer. Dr. David Oyedepo, Bishop David Oyedepo, he's also a doctor, the founder of the Living Faith Church, and also the founder of Covenant University, Landmark University. He said it this way. He said, we walk naturally, we drive by principles, but we only fly by instructions. We walk naturally, we drive by learning the principles of driving, but you can't fly a plane by assumption. You fly a plane by instructions. All pilots know this. They have been trained to fly only by instructions. They don't fly by assumption. They don't fly by their impulse or by emotions. If a pilot is told, don't land this plane, he knows he has to go back into the sky. If he's told, land this plane now, he lands. This is why many people crash land their destiny. Many young people crash land their destiny. So there are instructions to sustain you when you begin to gain speed and gain mileage. When you begin to gather resources, there are instructions. Instructions like paying your tithe if you are a Christian. Instructions like avoiding sexual relationships with anyone you are not married to. Those are instructions. They are destiny instructions. They are instructions that would never change for anyone. Instructions are there to keep you from destruction. Instructions are there to keep you from destruction. Because fulfilling purpose, when you begin to now fulfill purpose, you are going against the force of gravity. You are like an aeroplane taking off against the force of gravity. You are now gaining traction. You are gaining visibility. You are gaining up. You are now in a season of productivity, profitability. You are making money. You are no longer in the season of life where you are uncomfortable. You must be a student and remain someone who can adhere to instructions. King Saul could not obey a simple instruction. Now he was now king. He was no longer Samuel's intern. He was now king, ruler over a sphere of influence, but he lost his kingdom because he disobeyed a simple instruction. Wait for me for 7 days. He disobeyed that instruction on the 7th day. So at every phase and every season of life, every one of us must remain a student of the master. That's how you remain what? A master in your sphere of expertise or influence. The 4th level of education is now education by intuition. Education by intuition. At this level, you are now a successful master. You are dishing out your products, your services. You have mentees at this level. But now God begins to speak to you through your own intuition. Your spirit now gets to a point whereby you are getting to a place where you are almost becoming an institution, an authority, a thought leader in that field. Because man is like God. And that's the phase where you are almost in dominion. All right? Be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, subdue the earth, and then you enter dominion. Education by intuition. Intuition. Please check the spelling of intuition is Intuition. Intuition. Education by intuition. So intuition is you begin to receive concepts from within you. From within you. And then you are able to take decisive actions from concepts from your own spirit. The 5th level, I'm moving because of time, I want to end this by 9, is education by introspection. Education by introspection. And this is something that makes, I have a mentor who organizes, he calls it the leadership think tank for leaders, for CEOs. Is a leadership retreat. He takes thought leaders, he takes them away out of their daily routine and the operational dimension of the work and the life they have built. This is where you go on a retreat. You go for a recess. If you don't go on a retreat, you will not be able to continue at the pace of greatness. So you need to practice introspection. That's when you are able to shift into new dimensions of your greatness. Education by introspection. You sit alone, you sit with a group of your inner circle thought. Jesus did this regularly. You see that he goes into isolation, he goes to the mountain. But in today's world, in the corporate parlance, they call it corporate retreats. Education by introspection. Even the prodigal son came to his senses by personal introspection. All right, so you must withdraw daily, withdraw weekly, withdraw monthly, withdraw quarterly, withdraw yearly. If you are going to go all the way with God to fulfill your purpose. So education by introspection. Then the sixth level of education, I love this one, is now education, I love this one, by imagination. Oh, introspection takes you to the past. You go into your past, you learn from your own personal mistakes, and then you make decisive decisions in the present. But education by imagination is you traveling through the creative faculty in your mind into a real but not yet visible future. You catch a concept that the market will need in the coming future, you draw it into your present reality, and then you create products based on what the market would need. That is what those in the smartphone industry, that is what they are using to rob a lot of people of their money legally. They are legal armed robbers. iPhone, they will start with one, they will give it a name, iPhone 6. They now say iPhone 6X, iPhone 6 Max. They are using their imagination correctly. And fashion designers also do that. You see them, because once you locate the exact place of your grace in life, you will be able to function with your imagination correctly. You will be catching God's correct images about your life, about the product or the business you are in. That will make you a creator of products, of ideas, of services. Because in God's purpose, in God's path for your life, there's nothing like resignation. There's nothing like retirement. In God's true life's work for your life, you can't retire. The only thing that will make you exit is death. And at that death, when you are really in the place of purpose, you don't really die. You only exit the stage. You pass on the baton because you've left a legacy. So at this level of education is education by your imagination, where you get feedback from the future. Feedback from the future. Feedback from the future. You see where the future of your art or your craft is heading towards, and you are able to draw those images from the future into your present, and that will keep you relevant and significant. I started teaching on this purpose subject 17, 18 years ago, right here in Lagos, Nigeria, before the market was ready. So now I have over 400 teachings, over 400 relevant teachings in this area of concentration. So, education by imagination. And listen, you must also know that the only nation where all things are possible is the nation called imagination. Imagination. Oh, you need to visit people that are in their area of greatness. Oh my God. Have you seen a creative baker? Somebody whose purpose in God's mind is to be a baker. Have you seen what they do with cakes? Have you seen a creative architect? Have you seen the kind of buildings that come out of their imagination? Have you seen a creative comedian? Have you seen a creative life purpose coach like myself? Have you seen a creative kingdom etiquette diva like my wife? When she teaches on etiquette, I'm just wowed. I'm like, wow. Have you seen a creative bricklayer? Have you seen a creative artisan, a furniture maker? You will be shocked at the kind of chairs that they create, because they are in the exact location of heaven's allocation for their lives. So please, this generation of young people, don't run after money. There's prosperity already in your path of purpose. Is inbuilt prosperity. Is the path that will make you become a multi-millionaire. Why? All pioneers become multi-millionaires and billionaires. Because when you pioneer a true, genuine idea of value, you learn the laws of business and the laws of exchange, of laws of productivity. If you are not lazy, you will eventually not just have money, you will become an employer of labor. You will reduce the percentage of people that are not employed. All right, so I implore you, by the mercies of God, I beseech you, go and register for the course how to find purpose in 30 days. It will, there are 4 video lessons in that course. In the first week, I talked about discovering you. So you will discover your true self, yourself in the correct perception that God has of you. You will see yourself clearly for who you truly are. You will not see yourself based on what you studied in school. The genius inside of you was not given to you by school. It was in you from the day you were born. But either through wrong parenting, wrong background, wrong educational experience, school may have even covered it up. All right? So you must be so angry at being normal. You were not created to be normal at all. You were created to stand out. You were created to be distinct, to be different. Even if you are going to collaborate and work in an organization, you should still be, your uniqueness should not be lost. Any other organization, any job, any work that does not accommodate your innate abilities, that does not create room for your area of giftedness, it's a prison, it's a cage. And when you are in a cage, you would experience emotional rage. All right? The final, but the 7th form of education, and this, in my own opinion, my own humble opinion, is the highest form of education when it comes to fulfilling purpose, is called education by impartation. Oh, education by impartation. Education by impartation. Who taught Elisha how to part River Jordan? No one. He received an impartation from Elijah's mantle. He had been following his mentor. He had been, he went from education by information to internship to instruction to intuition, introspection, imagination. And he said, I want a double portion of your spirit. Elijah said, if you can see me when I'm being taken away, then you can have it. But what you have asked for is difficult. Not many people walk in this dimension. If you find a man that has been properly mentored and he has received impartation from his mentor, you will discover that they sound like their mentor, either male or female. If you have been following a man or a woman correctly with the right heart, with the right posture, you have been serving correctly, you've been an instrument of value to them, God will take the spirit upon them and place it within your spirit to also give you an edge and speed to stand out. Education by impartation. Education by impartation. This is the highest form of education, where you receive spiritual know-how to handle any challenge, any problem that comes up in your own path of purpose, pursuit, and fulfillment.
Skim a verse and move on with their
You are now like a physical replica of that master, of that mentor on the earth, and that only that cannot happen. Impartation, please correct spelling to impartation. Impartation it's called a transference of spirit. It's called a transference of spirit. Immediately Elijah was taken off, Elisha received impartation. He went to the River Jordan and he knew exactly what to do. When Jesus was taken away, he imparted the disciples with the Holy Spirit, and they also began to do things like him. Everywhere they went, they were acting like him to the point that they called them Christians. This is how God designed for us to learn and be educated in life. Not just education in the classroom, not just education in a structured, structured formal learning. Then you come out with a paper. You now say you are now certified, but you still find people with paper certificates that can't solve problems in the area that they claim to be educated. That's a shame. That's a big scam, and that's why some people say education is a scam. Real education is not a scam if you go through these 7 forms of purpose education. So if you are a Christian on this call, and you are already filled with the Holy Spirit, that is the person that God has sent to further make your life's journey to be like a navigation system, like your GPS. So I just want to just pray for everyone watching this, that this is the least you would ever be. Hurry now, quickly. Go and get, go click the link. Please put up that link again. Click the link, register how to discover your purpose, my personal purpose, in 30 days and turn it to a business. A lot of people are busy, but they are not productive. Thank you. Impartation, thank you. A lot of people are busy, but they are not productive. BUSY, busy, that stands for they are being under Satan's yoke. And you are busy, but you are not in the line of business God himself wants you to be in. You are just busy, you are not productive. That's being under Satan's yoke. God wants to populate the earth through our purpose by revealing his own ingenuity in our identity, so that we can fill the earth with the glory of the Lord. This is the quest in our hearts as a ministry. This is the assignment we have as an academy, the Purpose Discovery Academy. And this is our clarion call to everyone who is watching this video. Please share it with your sphere of influence. If you have not signed up for this course, please sign up for how to find your purpose in 30 days. And your life, I guarantee you, within 30 days, it will no longer be the same. You were not designed to remain small. You can start small, but with wisdom and knowledge and right application of truth, you would grow to become a giant in your industry rapidly. Because you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. I'll see you again, by God's grace, next week with another powerful topic as we count down to the kickoff of how to find your purpose in 30 days. My name is Mr. Purpose International. Thank you everybody for joining. Thank you Funaya. Thank you Eniola. Thank you. And thank you to my wife, my favorita, for joining. God bless you everyone.